Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and this is where I tank, you spank, and we all make bank. Also known as the All Tanks All 10 series, where I take every spec from character creation to clearing all 10s in the current season, which is the War Within Season 3. Currently playing Blood DK. Today's plan is to clear a, 6, since we cleared the 2 last time in the previous episode. But before we do anything, we're going to open up some vaults. And actually, we're not going to open up this character's vault. So, if you're not interested in any of that and you want to see the dungeon yapping, you can use the chapters or the progress bar to skip ahead to where I start the dungeon. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of my characters and open up the vaults. We're going to do Danny Lover here last. We're going to start things off with a janky... Oh my goodness. Okay, my camera was clipping through the ceiling and stuff. That was weird. Anyway, we're going to open up the vault on Derek, our Fury Warrior. This is not a series character. This is just something I play on the side. And of course, we get a Myth Belt because that's exactly what I wanted. We also get a Hero chest piece. The Hero chest piece is kind of useless because we have a Myth chest piece tier set. So... yeah, I guess we take the Myth Belt, because taking 4 tokens feels a bit silly compared to taking a Myth piece of gear. Oh, I don't even have the Delve Belt on this character, so this belt is definitely a big upgrade. That's how much I care about this character. I love playing a Fury Warrior, but I can't say I enjoy it enough to suffer through gearing. But we're going to equip this belt and probably just going to keep running it rather than getting the Delve Belt, because regular belts, if you can get the right stats on them, are actually better than the Delve Belt, since the Delve Belt does cap out at 701 item level. What I should probably do on this character is sit down and give it the actual, D&V new character treatment, because, yeah, I don't know, this character just needs some loving. It's got a bunch of gear from previous season that is not exactly high item level, like 658 gear and stuff, which is now the equivalent of adventurer gear, so that's kind of embarrassing. But we'll gear this character up at some different point in time. It's time to go for the next one, which is our Frost DK. So we are going to hop over here. We're gonna get loot for Unholy because we want two-handers, because apparently playing two-hand Frost is the thing. And let's see what we got. We did quite a few 10s apparently, because we have 3 items that are Myth, and it does look like that is a tier piece helmet. And that it is. Crit Mastery. I'd lose speed, but honestly, I don't really care about the speed compared to that. I do have Myth Shoulders as well, but neither of those feel better than getting this helmet, because then I don't have to spend the catalyzing charge, which I would have to spend on these Myth Shoulders, so I'd rather just have the helmet. And again, the helmet is Crit Mastery, which is perfect. And I'm actually low on crit, so getting this specific combination of stats is perfect. I'm not even going to look at the rest of these. It's a tier piece on Myth versus Champion gear and a 1 hero piece. I just don't care. So, wha-bam! We get a Myth helmet. Look at that. Now we have something that we can spend a socket on, which is really nice. On to the next one. The next one being our Human Druid, Eldarinth. We're gonna land over here and generate some loot for Guardian. I don't really know. I think I just have a bunch of 10s from the previous week where I finished this series. We have a Hero to Myth upgrade on the helmet. We have a Myth Celia's Secret Technique, which I think this is kind of dookie, to be honest with you. Even with the buff of it lasting an hour instead of 30 minutes, I still feel like it's poopy. And this is a what? A Myth Piece Codex of the First Technique. Reflecting 10% of the incoming damage, so up to a maximum of 1.4 million damage absorbed. I mean, that looks like a tank's tank trinket, if you know what I mean. We have a Hero Bracers, which I'm not too excited about. I don't know how good these are. I kind of like this trinket. I like tank trinkets. I like being tankier. That does make me feel safer. And just getting a Myth trinket while I have 2 champion trinkets sounds like a great idea, but this has more longevity, I feel like, and really good stats, so I might just go for the, I think I'm gonna go for the Myth tier piece versus the tank trinket that's probably not best in slot. So there we go. We're gonna equip that, fix the transmog, and really upgrade this to the same item level as the helmet we used to have. There we go. Nothing has really changed, but I have higher max item level potential with this. And now it's time for the Blood DK. So what are we hoping for with this character? Tier pieces. Any kind of tier pieces I would be very happy with, especially if I get them from the first 2 slots of mythic stuff, because those were +6s, which means they get higher item level than anything else I might have in the vault right now. And that doesn't seem to be the case for me, unfortunately. Wait, Devourers, never mind. And we have Hollow Sentinel Hero tier piece versus just Hero Gloves. It's 2 item, and this is champion from M0, so I definitely don't want the pants, even though they have haste. This is crit and haste. Yeah, I think this is just the go-to. Sure, the hero trinket's here, and that's nice and all, but it's not myth, it's hero. I can just go farm this if I want to. I can't farm tier pieces, so we're gonna grab this, and then we're gonna go tier 5 probably, or pants. I think we have hero pants. So we're just gonna grab this. There's not much debate to be had about this, to be completely honest with you. I need tier pieces, so this will have to do. And like I said, we have hero pants, so we're gonna put those in the catalyzing thing, and we're gonna have 2 set. Now 2 set for Sang Lane doesn't really spark joy, let's put it that way. It just doesn't feel like it's all that powerful. Maybe I'm just completely wrong, but it just doesn't feel all that strong. Now we're gonna get a good chunk of haste out of this, and our pants just went from something to haste. So I'm also happy about that. We have 2 very good slots for our tier set. I'm very happy about the stat distribution on them. We're gonna fix the transmog, there we go. And now we're 696 just from a couple of upgrades. Very juicy. I mean, the upgrades weren't so much the shoulder, it was more from the other things that I spent carved crests on and stuff like that. But we're also going to spend some runed crests here, just runed, not gilded, on crafting ourselves. Not crafting? What? On upgrading these hero shoulders that we just got. Now I'm out of carved crests, and I don't have a way to do anything about that. What I can do, and what I probably will do before I get started with today's dungeoneering, is probably try and get myself another spark of starlight, honestly, and maybe like a hero piece. So what I really want, actually, is to get myself bracers. Because if I get myself bracers crafted, what I can do is get carved of the Undermine. Not of the Undermine, Jesus, of the Ethereal, whatever. I keep calling it of the Undermine because of previous season and whatnot. So I'm quickly going to do so. I'm not really going to tell you much about it. You know how to do weekly quests. Apparently I don't, because my character can't get a weekly from this. What's the weekly here? 5 time walking? Okay, I didn't know there was time walking. That's something to look into. Might do that on stream later today. Brand, is there a delve weekly? There is a delve weekly. 3 delves. Okay. Oh no, I just realized I don't have any more. Well, I have a shit ton of undercoins, so I'm just gonna buy restored copper keys. Come here. That's 1 copper key. That's 2 copper keys. That's wonderful. And we're gonna go do a couple of weekly quests really quick to get more copper keys. Hold on, I have to actually open this like this. There we go. But yeah, we're gonna go do weekly quests to get copper keys, and also a fractured spark of starlight, because then we can craft the bracer like we talked about. And then the second I craft the bracer, the next dungeon I do will give me a bracer, because that's just how that works. In case you didn't know, after you craft an item, the game just automatically drops that item the next time you have a chance to get loot. Even if it's a gray item, it's going to be that slot. Jokes aside, I'm going to shut up now and go do my weekly. Delve 1 has been completed. We're going to quickly gather up the gold. There's no mislaid curiosities here, so we can go left bountiful, grab the quest, right bountiful, flickering spoils. Ooh, we got a Delver's bounty. We're going to immediately just, yep, there we go. Nemesis strongbox, gilded stash, and bountiful coffer. What do we get? We get some pants. We don't really care about pants. We want wrists, or we want a ring. Ideally, I would get a ring. Honestly, either or I'll be happy with, especially if we get it from the Delver's bounty that we just used. So the next delve is going to give us a hero piece. Very nice. Super slam. There we go. Oh, there's loot. What? I guess just probably trash loot. There's a mislaid curiosity. Let me pick that up. I do think my brand is level... Yeah, it's level 100. Sorry, Brand. He's level 100. Anyway, let us pick up the gold in this room. I don't think that there is... No, there doesn't seem to be a mislaid curiosity. At least I can't see them in these confined quarters. So let's go left bountiful, right bountiful, flickering spoils, nemesis strongbox, gilded stash, bountiful coffer, and we're hoping from hidden trove we get a wrist. Come on now, give me a wrist, give me a ring, give me something for my trouble. Ooh, actually a freaking ring, bro. Come on, let's go, let's do this. Oh, that makes me happy. Dropping a bit in the haste department, but with 32k haste, what the fuck? Where am I getting 32k haste from? Whatever. Oh, probably from this. Let's leave the delve and then take a look at our haste. So with 18k haste, I feel like I can lose some. How much am I losing? 3.8k. That's quite a bit, actually. Not the biggest fan of that. 14k haste will have to do. I'd prefer to have more haste than mastery, but I just want some good rings. So we got a good ring here. Apparently we got the reputable from earning an exalted paradise Paragon reward from any faction. Okay, that's really cool. And we got some boots that we don't really care about. It's the same boots we have, but at a worse item level. We got 2 Shrieking Quartzes from that? That's insane. I can actually use this on future characters to summon in Kaiveza to guarantee myself an extra champion piece, or just the Delver's Bounty. Now, I want to do one more Delve because I can get some more Gilded Crest from it. Let's do Side Street Sluice, because the other option is Skittering Breach, and I don't really feel like doing that. I feel like that is significantly slower than Side Street Sluice. So let's head back to Dornogal, and then into Undermine, and then we'll do that Delve. That'll complete our weekly quest, and then hopefully that weekly quest, the Delve one, gives us a Fractured Spark of Starlight. I keep wanting to call it Twilight. I don't know why. Boom. With that one dead, I think we're done with Delves. Thank goodness. The only way this gets any better is we get champion bracers here. But honestly, I think I'm going to craft bracers either way. If I got hero bracers, maybe I wouldn't craft them. I'd craft a ring instead. But let's take a look here. We've collected the gold. There doesn't seem to be any mislaid curiosities. So we're going to grab left bountiful, right bountiful, flickering spoils. There we go. Nemesis strongbox, gilded stash, and God damn it, I don't have a key. Shit! I did not realize I didn't have a key. The Delve probably even warned me as I got to it that I don't have a key. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, it's just a champion piece anyway, right? That, like, what else? Ah, dude. I got the Gilded Stash. That's what I kind of care about. So there's God damn it. I'm so annoyed with myself. Whatever, man. We've completed the Delve. We've completed our weekly. That's what really matters. Let's get out of here. Let's go turn in that quest. If I wasn't crafting bracers right now, I'd be very, very annoyed with myself because I could have gotten bracers out of that if I didn't have what it took to craft myself some bracers. Well, I actually don't know if I'm crafting them yet or not because I do need to get the actual spark from this quest when I turn it in. I don't know why there's no exclamation mark above him. It's kind of annoying. It confused me a little bit. But please give me a spark at least. Okay, thank goodness. I at least got a spark. Let's turn in this quest while we're here as well. And there we go. And Pinnacle Cache. What do we get? Oh, we got another ring with Heavy Mastery. I guess we don't really care about that. Is that the same ring here? Yes, it is. I got that from previous week's weekly quests as well. That's funny. But we don't need that anymore because we've got these hero rings and whatnots. We can now craft ourselves a spark, and then we can craft ourselves a bracer. By the way, I do have a guide for how to craft things on the channel. So if you guys want to check that out, if you're not sure how to do things, if you want to make sure you don't waste your materials or your gold or your time or anything, you can check out the guide. And there we go. Everforged Van Braces. And that gives us Weathered of the Ethereal. What that means is we can turn our Weathered crests into Carved crests, which is what I'm going to do immediately because I do need actual Carved crests. We can get 6 of those, I think. Yeah, 270. There we go. So we can do 6 item upgrades. Actually, we can do more than 6 item upgrades because we only need 10 carved, because I do think I've gotten carved on my main. I would imagine so. And that's the last satchel. There we go. Now let's do some champion piece upgrades. Starting with this necklace, because this necklace is actually good. And it would seem that the other ring I have is the only thing we need carved crests on, which is good, because now I can get myself also, with Carved of the Ethereal that we just got, 1 pack of runed crests. Just 1. Well, 1's better than none. And now we can kind of really spend our runed crests because I intend to complete this challenge by the end of the week. So I think what I can also do is just tierify whatever pieces I have. I'm going to go really quick, check which ones of them give me the best stuff. Hold on. Actually, what I need to see is if I can even get myself to 4 pieces. Do I only have 1 charge left? Yes, I only have 1 charge left. I keep forgetting that because I'm too used to last season. Oh well, when we hit 2K, that is when I'll be able to get myself 4 set, because then we get an extra charge. Now, what key did I even get? I got an Ara'kara City of Echoes. We've already done an Ara'kara at +6. So that's a little bit disappointing, but I did it on stream, so I may as well do it now with you guys here in the video. Now, if I really wanted to sweat it out a bit, what I could do is go do the time walking, maybe get a piece from this, and then but I think I'll do that on stream today. I don't feel like doing that in this video. Let's collect these crests that Vaskarn has provided for us for reaching these milestones with our gearing. Send this stuff to our bank character because we sure as hell don't need it. And we somehow have a 3rd Shrieking Quartz from somewhere. We just just having them drop left and right. We'll put those in the bank with the rest of them. I think we're sorted for the rest of the series with this, actually. 1 per character seems fine. And now it's time to actually go and host the +6 Ara'kara. And here we go with an Ara'kara +6 with the Devour affix. I can't do much about this affix, but what I can do is out-heal it, honestly. I can't help anyone else with it, though. That's kind of a bummer, in my opinion. That's fine. We're going to drop a D&D here. We're going to drop a D&D here. We're going to hit this one. We're going to grip one of these. We're going to drop Dancing Rune Weapon. We're going to have a bunch of enemies be stacking on top of us in no time flat. And now we can spam Vampiric Strike. So I like doing this pull here at the start because it just removes a lot of RNG whether or not you're going to make it through the first pull. On +6, I don't think it matters if you have a good group, but later on in a +10 or in just fortified keys, it makes a big difference whether you do this pull first or not. It's not a great Bloodlust pull, obviously, but it's good for percent. And we're gonna hope that people don't hit things too soon. We're gonna try and do this, grip, and then Blood Boil, and then Dancing Rune Weapon again, and then Blood Boil again to get 3 stacks. And we can mash the bejesus out of Vampiric Strike again. I'm gonna fail my kick. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm gonna use AMS. Oh, no, I have to. AMS doesn't seem to protect you at all from the thing. I'm going to fear these guys or CC these guys, and hopefully people can get out of that frontal. People have pulled more shit over there. I'm going to drop a D&D there just to slow them down so people can get away from them, and then I'll grip them as I need to in order to actually get aggro on them. I have no idea how we managed to pull those. I can't get too far away from Ixen. I think he might cause some trouble if I do that. I'm going to grip this, and hopefully people keep kicking. I'm going to put focus on Ixen. I failed my kick there. I feel so stupid. I mean, other people probably had their kicks available, so it's not exactly completely my fault, but it's a bit of a pain in the booty hole. All right, I think we managed to stabilize now. That was irritating. I don't want to send my Dancing Rune Weapon just yet because it feels pointless to do so when there's like one actual mob in this pull. But I feel very stupid for failing my kick on Ixen. I did press kick. I guess I was just targeting the wrong thing. That happens to me sometimes. I'm not very good about that, but whatever. Luckily, the patrol is really far away. That means we don't have to deal with people pulling it accidentally thinking that I want to pull it. We're going to grab the attendant and just grip him in here. There we go. And whabam, I'm going to ping danger here just so that the, yep, he gets it. The shaman was a bit close to those. I was worried that he might accidentally pull them. I didn't want that for him because I'm going to be pulling them into boss, and then the rest of this crap I'm going to pull into, actually, I'm going to pull this and these into the mini boss, and then the small ones I'm going to pull into the boss. That's the plan. I'm going to ping that I'm going here, but I'm going to ping these as well, that I'm grabbing those first. So Blood Boil here, hit this guy, Blood Boil again to get aggro, and then hopefully people actually understand now what I've pinged, because it was probably a little bit confusing, but that's all right. I think somebody tried to help me by grabbing some extra crawlers. That's fine. I'm okay with it. We don't seem to have a dancing we don't seem to have a poison cleansing totem. That's what I was going for. We're gonna grip this as well. No, we're just gonna have to taunt it. There we go. Oh man, it's really hard to get aggro on all these little shits when your Blood Boil doesn't reach them. Really irritating. But we're going to go ahead and use anything that can lower the cooldown of Dancing Rune Weapon. There we go. Now we have Dancing Rune Weapon going into the next pull. We're going to use our 2 charges of Death Grip to make sure that this attendant stacks up over there. We're going to kick him once. That'll keep him moving. It looks like our hunter beat us to it. 1 grip, 2 grip, boom. Dancing Rune Weapon, drop D&D. Maybe should have dropped D&D first, but it's whatever. We're going to taunt that, wait for everything to group up, and then we're going to send in a Death's Caress on this guy. That should pull both of them. Very nice. And a grip on this guy. Just get him grouped up as quickly as possible so that we don't waste time killing them after the big guy is dead. We can cleave them rather. That feels better. Okay. Now I would hope to figure out a better way to group these guys so they don't have to so I don't have them left over a bit after the mini boss dies. I feel like I need to do that a bit sooner, but I really want to make sure I have the 2 death grips for this. I guess what I should focus on is pulling them as soon as the pull starts rather than later. I feel like that might be a good idea. And I think, yeah, we still have these little flyers. We're going to grab those and drag them into the boss, and I think that'll be just fine. I'm going to go around this way just so I can pull the little flyers immediately and get into the boss fight. There we go. Use movement speed. I'm going to pull the boss, and I'm just going to ping that I'm going towards there. And this group seems to be knowledgeable, so I'm going to try and position in a way that makes sense for them to be able to cleave most quickly. If they can quickly cleave, that means that they can quickly get back to the boss, and that's what really matters. I'm going to drop a D&D on top of these guys, just slow them down as much as possible, minimize the risk of them reaching the boss, and there we go. Group switch to them very quickly, and they can immediately just jump back to hitting the boss because we're really close to it. Because the way it works is, if those little minions reach the hitbox of the boss, that is actually when the boss jumps on them and eats them. So if your group positions in such a way that they are between the little shits and the boss, there is no way for the little shits to actually reach the boss, because they'll reach their intended destination, which is the player, but the player is not on top of the hitbox of the boss. So basically, we big chillin', as long as people know where to stand. Now, I do point out in multiple videos, I think, that people are not exactly great at pre-positioning and positioning in World of Warcraft. I do stand by that, but you can kind of tell as the tank whether they're standing in the right spot or not, and then you can adjust accordingly. And that's the boss dead, because it's +6, so it's not tyrannical, so it doesn't take 3.5 hours to kill. So it's not exactly as important to position the way I positioned, but practice makes perfect, so we may as well practice in this lower key level. We're going to Blood Boil once we're on top of these guys as well. There we go. We're going to D&D here and hit the guy. We're going to put focus on the web mage, start blood boiling. Okay, now my focus is primarily to hit the blood mage. There we go. To hit him with an interrupt, not the blood mage, the web mage. Whatever, man. What the heck is ripping aggro off me? Oh, there's probably an earth elemental. Okay, never mind. I was like, how the heck is everything getting taunted off me? But I see him. Look at him over there smacking away. You little weirdo. I don't like that. I guess it was used as a defensive for the Locust Swarm because there is a talent that increases your max HP. I'm gonna wait for that patrol. One sec. Patrol. I want that patrol. Are you good, bro? Excuse the f out of me. All right. I'm flabbergasted by how stupid this was. So sorry, it took me a second to recover from that. We're gonna interrupt the web mage again. We're gonna look for a CC on the sentry. Sentry doesn't need CC. It looks like somebody took care of it. It was the shaman with the totem, most likely. I genuinely do not understand why people ran ahead and pulled that. I guess they weren't looking where I was. I don't know. Maybe they just got fresh out of time walking dungeons, so they think everything works like that. But that is next level stupid. It was probably an honest mistake. Sorry, I'm just very confused that someone would do something like that. I guess it was a lapse of situational awareness in that moment. Once the web mage is dead, I'm literally just gonna... Yep, there we go. We're gonna just move on straight to this point. And I think what I can do is actually... no, I can't do that because there's a sentry over there as well. And I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense. Put a focus on the web mage. It's gonna cast the volley. We're going to interrupt the volley and we're going to be big chillin'. Sentry dead, web mage dead soon, and that means we move on to the next group. Like so. There we go. Bit of a chill pull. Not a big fan of this pull right now. I guess what I can do is grip the web mage and grip this guy and just kill them all. Would love to be able to grip again, but I can't. Not anytime soon. We're going to CC this. We're going to interrupt the volley. And the next group is in here. This is not a good pull, by the way, but this group is just one-shot stomping absolutely everything. So I'm kind of not worried about it. Web bolts are going off. I don't care about those. I care about the volleys. I can kick one, grip this one right before it goes off, and then the mob dies, so it's not a big issue. And there we go. Bob's your uncle. Now, what I tried to do there was pretty stupid. I tried to grip in the sentry that's gonna do the alarming shrill and the web mage, which would cast at us from a distance, so that everything closes the gap and the patrol comes in after we kill everything. I mistimed that. In a fortified key or in a serious key or anything like that, that would probably have been a miserable experience for everyone involved. So I gotta be a bit more careful about that. We're going to go ahead and grip this thing. I unfortunately can't pull the extra little percent that I want to pull from those blood workers. One of them is 0.38%. There's 4 of them over there. We do have AoE CC, but it looks like everyone's already doing theirs, so there's no need for me to do mine. This thing's about to die. I can't pull the blood workers yet because of the patrol, but I guess what we're going to do is pull them now. Boom, and then movement speed, and we chill. I'm going to put a D&D here so they walk through it, which means they slow, and also they take some damage, so I have some aggro on them rather than them being aggroed onto the healer that's going to do some healing here before I can even reach them. Okay, blood boil, everything should be under control now. Very nice. It's a tiny bit of extra percent, but there's a few places like that where you can pull those little shit kicker mobs and get a good chunk of percent for your overall run, which I really like. That is the Bloodguard dead. I'm considering just dragging this straight into the... Okay, never mind. I guess we're going to sit in this. I don't want to waste this cooldown that the shaman just popped for some reason. I think there was probably like an AoE coming in, but it's whatever. We're going to use an anti-magic shell and we're going to hit the boss because the first person that the boss aggroes onto gets hit with an infest. So with an AMS up, there is no infest, no bubble drops on the ground or tornado or whatever you want to call those, and then we big chillin'. A little bit less cluster for this boss fight. Charge goes through. We're going to hit that and taunt it. And we're going to grip it right here. There we go. Affix comes out. I don't have to worry about that at all because I just heal myself through it. And the shaman has to take care of it off the rest of the group that is not dispelling themselves. Or maybe they are. I don't know. The hunter can feign death to make sure that he drops it. But the rogue has to use... What? The rogue? There is no rogue in your group, Vlad. What are you talking about? I'm tripping big time, apparently. The paladin can dispel it, but the DH can't. But the DH has so much leech, I feel like that might actually also contribute towards clearing it out pretty quickly. Oh well, anyway, doesn't matter. The shaman has poison cleansing totem to clear that. Obviously, he probably wants to keep it for some of the fights in this dungeon because they're pretty miserable, but it's whatever. An infestation goes out on me. I'm going to try and drop it next to this stuff and in the bad zones. Yeah, I don't know, man. What's a good way to drop off these infestations? Is it just to the side of the room? As the tank, I can't really do that, obviously, but maybe I should at least try. We're going to kick that, keep hitting it, and grip it over to the boss so we can cleave it down, and there we go. Man, I don't know who programmed these swirlies or whatever they are, but they did a great job. They're so freaking annoying. They're so frigging annoying. Okay, CC is going out on the web mage. We don't have to worry about it. We're gonna grip it now because they're rooting someone. We don't want that to be the case. We're gonna grip them again, and then we're gonna stand to the side of the ring here because as they as the frontals come out and the ring keeps rotating, we drop it off to the side and no one has to worry about it except for us. So, and by us I mean me, the tank. Okay, now we have an overseer here. We have a good opportunity to pull these maybe potentially, please. Yes, thank you, very nice. I'm just gonna look at this overseer here, hit him with the blood boil, and then these guys as well. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna use both of my defensives here. Well, some of my defensives here. IBF. I'm going to use IBF. I was terrified I was going to get stunned there, and that would have been a very bad situation. There's a carrier underneath the map. It is what it looks like. Jesus. Okay. Never mind. I think he's above the map now. That was really weird for a second there. I wasn't a big fan of that. But oh well. Now we go this side. So I pulled a couple of small mobs from there, and I feel like that was worth. I'm going to use anti-magic shell here to make sure that as I hit these... I needed a blood boil there. As I hit these puddles on the ground, people don't get... I don't get rooted. Oh god, this is a bit of a shit show. Hold on. Gotta focus up here for a second just to make sure I have aggro. I didn't do a good job of what I wanted to do. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that my... anti-magic zone or anti-magic shell takes care of pretty much all of these circles on the ground. Oh, I'm in a very bad situation right now. I'm stunned and I have 25 stacks of the debuff and I can't heal myself because I'm stunned. Okay, that was a miracle I lived, and I'm gonna thank the shaman for that one, honestly. That was so freaking scary. All right, I'm gonna kick the other one. Bit of a cluster. I really don't like this last area, honestly, for trash. It just kind of sucks. But I think if I had just shut up and played the game, I would have played significantly better because that's usually the case. But okay, everyone lived. It was a little bit annoying, but everyone lived, and we have 100%, and we can go and do the last boss. With 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining, we're going to start the boss about 2 minutes 10 seconds in, and then we will be able to maybe 3-star this. That would be cool. I wouldn't say no to that. Let's go. We do have a Bloodlust available, so that should improve our chances of actually 3-starring it, but we'll see how it goes. There's always tragedy that can strike on this boss. That much is for certain, because it just, I don't know, sometimes it just ends up being a real cluster, you know? I'm gonna try and stand still so people can position around me, especially the melee, like so. I'm gonna move away. I finally figured out where everyone was. I think I'm gonna turn on friendly health bars just so I can see where people are positioning, because it is kind of important that I see where people are. This paladin might be in a bit of trouble here. I don't think he's gonna get hit. He did not get hit. Wonderful. That is really good. I'm gonna grip in these bloods just so that people don't have to worry about having aggro on them. I feel like that's a good idea. I'm going to move to the side like this so that I'm not standing in the way of those thingies with the stuff. We're going to move the boss away into the center of all of these so that melee, when they need to go out, they can very quickly do so and get to a safe spot rather than having to run across the entire room. And also, we don't want the puddles to be too close to the boss, because if that happens, what can happen is that people just get trapped inside of it instead of being able to use those to be safe. I think our paladin is... No, our paladin's safe again. Look at that. Holy shit. Okay, our paladin definitely likes to live dangerously. I'm going to go ahead and activate this puddle here because it's a bit too close for my liking. I'm going to try and stand right on top of the boss because that way these won't actually hit me, the ones that are on melee. That's what I'm focusing on right now. I think the boss is in a decently good position as long as there's no puddles being dropped right on top of us. I feel like this is still good. I don't want to hit that blood worker just yet. I can hit him. Never mind. I think the boss just dies here. Position like so. Boss is just about dead. We're just gonna let the boss kick the bucket here. I'm not gonna worry about positioning. And that is a 3-star with 5 seconds left. Nice. And an Ara'kara sack fruit on hero. Let's go. I actually really like this trinket. I could trade it if somebody wants it. I kind of want the haste from it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want the haste from it because right now I'm just getting a bunch of mastery from the signet. I think I'm gonna keep it. And the group disbanded quicker than I could say thank you for the key. God damn. Okay. Everyone was out of there. Nobody. I guess nobody had fun. And I recorded for 19 minutes and we did that Ara'kara. I don't know what to say about that, man. I need to get out of 6s and get into 10s. But that, I think, is going to happen in the next episode. Because in this one, I think I've spent about my recording budget for this morning. And I also want to make an ARC video for my other channel. This has piqued your interest. You can find my other channel as Probably Not Vlad. It might be a bit difficult to find because it is basically a dead channel with no subs. But maybe I just link it in the description. Who knows? So what's next on this character? Probably pushing up to some 10s today in the stream. We have a 9 key, so I think I'll bump that up to a 10 key, and then I'll do my first 10. I might record that one for a video. If it's not some dungeon we've already done before, which it likely will be, but we'll see how that goes. Hold on. Let me actually equip this real quick. I'm going to get rid of the signet because I just really love the other gauze. Let me show you why. This is why. This is why. Look at that thing. That's a crazy amount of use. 189 million? That's a lot. Anyway, we're going to go upgrade this thing because I do want the haste from it. That would be very nice to have. Now we're at 19k haste, 17k mastery. I'm very happy with that. But yeah, if you want to see me push up to 10s and get distracted 500 times like I have been during this little outro segment, you can check out the stream. We stream on both Twitch and YouTube, so you can check that out. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. Specifically, I think there's 2 more episodes of the Blood DK, and then we're going to move on to another character. So Friday is going to be the last video of this. Then I'm going to take a break on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we actually have a 24-hour stream planned where we will level the new character that we make for the next tank in the All Tanks All 10 series. But if you made it to this point in the video, include the phrase ninja pull in your comment because that's exactly what happened after the first boss in Ara'kara. Not right away, but like second pull after first boss. People just walked into enemies while I was waiting there for the patrol to skedaddle. It was weird, man. It was wild. If you do include the phrase ninja pull in your comment, I'll make sure to heart it when I see it. But as always, friends, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.